Last night? Yeah, it was good. We went to St. Elmo's. So I tried the shrimp cocktail. It was good. It kind of tore me up a little bit. It was spicy. It was really spicy. I do, but that was a different type of spicy. Like I felt it all through my nose and all. It was bad. Yeah, I did. I got a bone-in ribeye, medium well. What do you do? Yeah, they actually came out medium, but I wasn't tripping. Yeah, I wasn't tripping. It was good. It was good. Yeah, I know. I know being the starting quarterback at Nebraska, I'm representing the whole state, and that's something that I don't take with a grain of salt. I think it's a real honor, and I'm very blessed to be in that position. And I'm just ready to take it head on and give everything I have to the state of Nebraska. I would say after the spring game, it was a lot of people. Like it was a lot more people that knew me than I would expect to know me. So it kind of hit me after that, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, I really love this fan base, and I'm ready to give them all I got. Yeah, Eric Crouch came out to one of our practices, and he was because we had like a little triple option day, and he was just teaching us about that, and it was kind of cool to hear from him and just hear what he had to say. Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a cool experience to meet him and talk with him. Especially him being like one of the greats at Nebraska. It was just cool to hear what he had to say and just take some information from him.
Jeff, how do you balance, the QB sort of has to be a leader, but also a new guy to the roster. Like, how have you kind of worked that balance of those two things?
I think it's not really something that has really affected me. I think once you build relationships with your teammates and hang out with them and actually get to know them, I think the new guy thing kind of goes out the window because like you feel like you've been there for years. So I think when I first got to Nebraska, my biggest focus was to build relationships with my teammates and get to know the guys and making sure that they know me and making sure that they know where I come from so they can respect me as a leader. And that's something that has helped me this offseason.
I know when Coach Satterfield talked about, like, the first time he met with you, he was just drawn to how much you, like, talk about ball, and you kind of bonded right away. Can you
Yeah.
kind of take us through that relationship and how that's grown too?
Yeah, most definitely. So my first time meeting Coach Sat, we kind of talked about his offense, and it was just it just clicked instantly because I was speaking. Me and him were speaking the same language. Like some of the concepts that he was showing me and some of the terminology that he had, I was kind of familiar with, and like even things that he introduced to me that I wasn't familiar with, I kind of picked up on quick. So I think once he seen that, I think that's something that he realized that me and him will have a good connection.
Are there, like, one or two things you really focused on this offseason and said, if I could change this, maybe it's your technique or something that you think could be a difference maker for you going forward?
Yeah, one big thing that I focused on was my weight and just my how much weight I added and how much fat and muscle, like all that, like just making sure that my body's in the right position for the season. And then another big thing was my leadership. I think I've gotten really, like I've gained aspect of leadership that I haven't had in the past.
Coach Satterfield also said he wanted you to improve your completion percentage and cut down on turnovers.
Yep.
Okay, I get how that has to happen, but how do you make it happen? What goes into that?
So over the course of spring, that happened very quick. So I think it's just a different level of focus and processing that helped with that. My completion percentage for spring was really good. My interception to touchdown ratio was really good. So I think just focusing in on not focusing on making mistakes, because I know in the past I would focus on like not making mistakes, and anytime you focus on not making mistakes, you're gonna make mistakes instead of going out there and just going out there and seeing how much better you need to get, what you need to work on, and going out there and just playing football.
Is there, very easily explainable differences between what the offense was at Georgia Tech and what it is at Nebraska?
The offense at Nebraska is a little bit more versatile. We do a lot of different things, and at Georgia Tech, my last year there, it was sort of similar to what we run. Like it was some things that was similar to what we run at Nebraska. But my first 2 years there, the offenses are really totally different.
Do you feel like that offense at Nebraska caters more to your skills to where the completion percentage could be higher?
Yeah, most definitely. It puts me in a lot of different situations and puts me in a greater situation to show off my arm and my ability to pass the ball.
How much do you want to run as a quarterback, or are you expecting to be?
I'm willing to run whenever I need to. There's really no exact number of how much I'm expecting to run, but like I know whenever I have to or whenever I need to, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it at a high level. So that's kind of how I think about that.
Satterfield said it was important to you, though, that you're known as a
Yeah,
passer.
most definitely.
Why is that important to you?
Because I am. A lot of times I've seen or heard stuff saying that I'm a better runner than a passer, and that's just not true. And I think people haven't seen that side of me yet, and that's something that I'm ready to show.
There are so many transfer quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
There was 20-some, 30-some in the Power 5 alone. So how did Coach Rule separate or sell Nebraska to you? And what part of those conversations were a tipping point with him?
Yeah. So when I was talking with Coach Rule on my visit, I was just listening to how he seen his future at Nebraska, his vision, his goals, and it aligned with what I wanted. And just seeing how smart he was and the connections that he had and the experience that he had in the NFL, I knew that he was a guy that was going to take my mental game to another level, because Coach Rule is a very smart guy, and I kind of want to soak everything I can from him. So I think that was big on how he sold me to come to Nebraska. So I was looking for a program that had great opportunity, a great fan base, and I just really wanted to be in a college town and get that college experience. And I think Nebraska is everything that I wanted.
What's life like in the
I mean, it's a little. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not what you want to be in. But like it's kind of like high school recruiting all over again. Just seeing where you want to go, taking visits, and talking to different schools.
So are you constantly checking your computer, your phone, like waiting for or getting updates on who's trying to get a hold of you, or what's that like?
Not really. I think once you get an understanding of like what schools really want you, like you kind of focus in on those schools, and you really trying to make the best decisions between the schools.
I think you might have been asked this before I got here. But what's the fishbowl at Nebraska like compared to Georgia Tech? Like the attention a player receives at Nebraska compared to Georgia Tech.
I'll say it doesn't compare. And at Georgia Tech, I mean, it was probably more Georgia Bulldog fans than Yellow Jacket fans. And in Nebraska, we're the only team that they really like. So the attention that's on the Nebraska players is very high. I would say it's more attention on us than really any other college, because we're all Nebraska has. And I think that's something that I really like, because I love it, because the fans, they get to see how we operate on a daily basis. They're very supportive, and it just makes us want to go harder.
What grounds you in that when fans are reaching out or there's a lot of media or whatever? What kind of centers you, keeps you doing what you want?
My family, they make sure I'm level-headed. They make sure that that anything that goes like good or bad, like I got them always. So I always know that I got my family.
When you were growing up, when did you know you had it? You don't have to go through your whole football story.
Yeah.
When did you start to sense like, oh, this is my spot?
So I always wanted to play quarterback. Michael Vick was my favorite player growing up. Like that's who I wanted to be like. And so my first year playing football, I actually played like everything, like running back, D-line. I played everything as a little kid. I was like 6 years old. But my second year is really when I like actually knew I wanted to play quarterback, and I still like played all around. And I didn't really start focusing on quarterback till middle school, by my 8th grade year. And ever since then, I've been a quarterback.
Was Vic always a pass first guy?
Nah, nah. He was just. I just really liked Michael Vick. That was my favorite quarterback.
Jeff, what do you want the offense to be good at right away, and what do you think will take more time to come together?
Right away, I want us to be a disciplined offense. I don't think we need to. We're not gonna make mistakes that's gonna put us in bad situations. We can't hurt ourselves. Something that I think is gonna take like time throughout the season. It's not really much that I can say that I think will take time, because I think as an offense, the time that we've put in the off season, the spring, going into camp, we've put in a lot. We've made a lot of strides.
Winning 6 fumbles in the spring game, was that a one-off?
Yeah, that. I wouldn't. I don't really know. I know it was something that was really unacceptable. Coach Sat, all of us, we were very mad, and because throughout the spring we didn't have much turnovers. So when it happened in the spring game, it was just something that we knew we had to fix. In the spring, I would say I wouldn't say no one particular person stood out. Like, I think all the guys as a whole, they took big strides throughout the spring. They came together as a group. They working hard every day, and it's like a bunch of different guys started making plays out of nowhere, like just going like doing stuff that I haven't even seen before. So I love that room a lot. I think they're gonna be big for me this season.
This is a kind of a weird question, but as a quarterback at the college level, and we all know Matt coached in the NFL, is there something that maybe a wrinkle, even however small, that you've noticed that he brought that was like, okay, that's something an NFL quarterback would do that I could pick up on?
Coach Rule has done a great job preparing me and just teaching me how to do things at a high level. Just teaching me like how to prepare, how to operate, leadership skills that I'll need to take with me to the next level, and just little things like that will prepare me better for my future.
Well, and then when you're walking into a new team and you talk about leadership skills, and the transfer quarterback, how do you feel that, or how do you know that okay, these guys are picking up on what I'm saying?
Like I said earlier, just building relationships with them and getting them to respect you. I think once you have a team's respect, they'll listen to anything that you have to say. And one way you get respect is by giving respect, and just building relationships with the guys, listening to what they have to say, hearing what they have to say, and just knowing them as a person, because you can't really lead anybody that you don't know.
What about your wide receivers? Who do you like throwing to?
I like throwing to all of them.
You have good chemistry with
Yeah.
1 or 2 guys on the team?
Yeah, I have great chemistry with my receivers. I know me and Billy, we came in together, and we've been tight since we got here. So that's my dog right there.
How often are you texting guys like, let's go throw? Is there a lot of that?
Yeah, we go throw every Saturday morning. We go up there, get a couple routes in. But one thing I really like is guys in the receiver room, they'll hit me up. Like, they'll text me like, let's go throw. Like, let's go get some work in. And that's something that I really like about them.
And I know Coach Rule said in the spring, like maybe a few freshmen would have to come on in that position spot. Have you seen a couple of those guys, even some of the guys you just got here who impressed you?
Yeah, most definitely. Guys like Malachi, Jalen, they've been taking great strides, and they've been helping out all the freshmen. They've been getting reps in and just learning all they can learn.
I know you. What's he do so well?
Billy Camp.
Yeah, what's he do so well?
He's just a hard working player. He's a shifty guy. He's a guy that'll get open no matter what. But the fastest receiver, probably be between Xavier Betts and Malachi Coleman.
You talk about the rivalry that you're a part of with Colorado, starting back up this year. How much of that have you been hearing about, that game, and how important this is to the fans, I guess, on both sides?
Yeah, I've heard quite a bit about Colorado, but we haven't really focused on that game yet because we still got to play Minnesota. So we've still been having our focus on Minnesota and getting ready for camp and going into camp ready to attack it.
You mentioned that Michael Vick, though, being a fan early on. So I know he was a little bit before your time, but with Coach Sanders, Deion Sanders, everything that he's done, was he a guy that you followed a little bit, or just highlights and such?
Not really, but I watched his highlights, but I wasn't the kid that would just like watch NFL players. Like I probably had like a couple of my favorite players that I would just watch, and then that was really it.
Coach Rule talked about earning respect back for the program. How do you go about doing that in the first year?
We just got to go out there and play for each other. We can't worry about what other people think. We can't worry about outside noises. We just got to go out there, build the brotherhood, and come together as a team. And we just got to go out there and put it all on the line for our brothers.
Do you think that can happen quickly?
Yes.
Is there anything you're hearing out? Anything you hear out there just in terms of Nebraska's going to be like this, and you're on the inside, you're like, no, it's going to be a lot different. Is there something you're excited to show people that maybe they don't think is accurate right now?
I haven't really seen a lot about what people expect from us, but I know what we're expecting, and I know what we've been working towards, and I know we can accomplish it.
Do you purposely not pay attention to other people's expectations?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to me, it doesn't really matter. The only expectation that's matters is the expectations built in the locker room.
When you first showed up here, Casey was in the program
Mhm.
at that point and was a returning starter. What is it? I mean, some people look at it and say that's a competitive mindset of a guy like I'm ready to compete.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. How are you looking at it back then?
Yeah, I mean, once I got here, I knew that they had a guy that was starting last year, and told myself like, hey, you just got to go out there, you got to go in there and work, and that's exactly how I attacked it. And he did a great job helping me out too. Like even though he wasn't practicing, he's seen some things that he knew was because Casey's older than me. He has a lot more experience, so he showed me some things that he would know and that he picked up on, and I was just listening and I was just taking advice from him.
What drives you, Jeff? Why do you put in the work? Do you do it for a person, or an ideal? What makes you do what you do?
My family. I mean, my biggest reason why I do this is my family. I love my family, and they've put a lot into me. And I love the game of football. They love the game of football, and it's just anytime I see them, because my family's very I come from a family of hard workers. Anytime I see them, it motivates me to go even harder. And just being the guy that can take our family to the next level. That's something that's big to me.
Is there an example of that, a parent or a sibling who really grinded and had it bear fruit?
I mean, my dad. I mean, he started from the ground up. He got his own lawn service, and it's actually flourishing right now, and it's actually doing really well. It's doing really well. Yeah.
What have you seen from him in the spring? Do you seem like he has been knocking rust off, or do you lose a step, or is it been looking good?
Xavier has made some plays that just make your jaw drop. Catches, running past people. He's a great player, and he only wants to get better, and I feel like he only can get better from here. Xavier is a great player. He's a great dude, and his biggest goal is to go out there and do the best he can for his team.
What drew you to Nebraska as you went through the process?
Say it again.
What's like the biggest draw to Nebraska as you went through the process?
I would say the fan base. Seeing how supportive the fans was, and hearing that we've had a sellout for over 300 some games. I was like, man, that's crazy.
What's like the biggest difference you've seen after coming in?
Between here and Georgia Tech, like I said, the fans. that's the biggest difference. The support that they give us is different.
What's the most interesting NIL opportunity you've had so far? Is there one that you're like, man, this was really cool?
I kind of like I would say the John Deere ones with people have been raving about, but I think all my opportunities that I've gotten was a blessing, and I don't really look at any of them as higher than the other. So I think all of them are pretty cool.
What else you got?
I don't really want to go into all that.
Hey, Jeff, coming from Georgia Tech, a year or two ago, did you ever see yourself being in another state, three Georgia teammates? You guys used to play against each other in old-fashioned hate. What's it like that? And hopefully one of them 24 targets.
Yeah, so coming while I was at Georgia Tech, I wasn't expecting to be anywhere else. I'm a very loyal guy. So, but being on the team with three Georgia teammates, two of them on defense, one of them on line, and Eric Gilbert, it's. I mean, we like each other. I would say me and MJ Sherman are really close. That's somebody that I really like. Jacob Hood, he's a cool dude. Eric Gilbert, big target. He's a guy that go and attack the ball. So it's been good.
Going back to NIL for a second, what do you think of the NIL landscape at Nebraska compared to that at Georgia Tech?
The NIL scape at Nebraska is really good. I'll say it's one of the top in the country. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Xavier, he's a very special dude, And one thing that I like about Xavier is when he messes up, he'll come back and he'll do it again. And his biggest goal is to fix it. And that's all he wants to do is get better in life. And actually me and Xavier went bowling and I found out Xavier's a bowler. So like me and him had a little connection there. And it was just cool to see that like hearing his story and hearing him talk about it, it was cool to see, man. Yeah, most definitely. It's different for everybody. Everybody's motivated by something different, and just figuring out what that is, that's important to know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's just attacking it head on, man. He's been working hard this offseason. He's made big strides this offseason. I'm very proud of Xavier for that.
The longer you've been around Matt Rule, what stands out about him? What makes him different from other coaches?
The thing I like about Coach Rule is in anything he does it to his best ability. So like say if he has a conference, he's locked in on that conference. I mean, if he has to go to a charity event, he's locked in on that. And it's just like he can switch modes to what he needs to be in, and it's kind of cool to see how fast he locks in on something and focuses on something.
Do you feel that in just sort of what would be like a casual or quick interaction, maybe with another coach? Do you feel that intensity? How you be locked into something?
Yeah, he gives off the energy that he's about business, and that's what everybody on the team sees.
What's the hardest
Knowing he's a man of faith. I grew up in church, so just seeing when he told us that his dad was a minister and stuff like that, it was very cool to see.
What's the hardest part about being a transfer quarterback, showing up?
I wouldn't say. I would say probably when you first get there, like learning everybody's name.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, I mean, so at one point I just knew everybody by their last name, so I was just like call people by their last name, and then I put two and two together. Like I would just be like, all right, his last name's this, all right, first name, and then after that, I just remembered it.
Did you have to like study the roster?
Yeah, I had to look at the roster sometimes too.
Really? You trying to like faces with names?
Yep, faces with names, and sometimes if I didn't know a guy's name, I was just like, "What's up, bro?" and I remember the face, and I go to his locker, and I'd be like, "Okay, that's his name."
When do you feel like you actually knew everybody?
Probably like first week of spring. That's when I feel like I really knew everybody's name and knew like the gist of the whole team.
And that why that, it's sort of obvious why that's important, but why was it important to you?
Because I see myself as a leader, and I knew like before I could say anything or lead to these guys, I had to know them. You know, I can't go up to a guy and try to tell him to do something and I don't even know his name. You know, so that's something.
Anybody that took a couple times? Anybody that you had to ask a couple times that was hard to remember, especially?
Nah, not really. Everybody was pretty challenging.
Did you have to make like flashcards? Did you like make a binder like you're doing your homework? Like how did you do that?
Nah, I would just go home and look at the roster on my phone and just scroll through it and remember the faces and try to remember the name. And if I didn't remember the name, I'll see him the next day and go up to him. And then because our lockers, they have our faces on them and by our name, so I would remember their face and I'll just keep looking at it and just trying to remember it.
Did you take it a step further and like read like the fun facts section or just like focus on the names?
Nah, just the names.
That's a lot of dudes.
Yeah, it is.
How big was Georgia Tech's roster? Was it
Oh,
as big as this one?
nah, it wasn't as big as this one. Probably like 70 something, 80, and this one's like 120 so far. So like,
You got lost on campus yet?
nah, I found my classes. That's the only places I needed to go. So I haven't really got lost yet.
Guys or kids on campus come up, recognize you, say what's up? Kind of
Not in the spring. I didn't really talk to many students on campus. Not many people came up to me on the way to classes. Probably a couple of them knew me in my class, but that's it.
think that'll change this fall?
I don't know.
What's the biggest goal between now and kickoff at Minnesota for you?
Attack camp head on and just get 1% better every day and be as prepared as we can be.
Is there anything more specific in that for you, just in terms of weight or playbook?
Oh, for me? Oh, exactly what I just said.
Been asked a lot about the receivers that connected at the tight end. So that's an interesting group to a lot of people. What has kind of stuck out to you so far about them?
The tight end group, they're a very elite group with Thomas, Nate, Eric. It's just a group that's gonna go out there and show people that we actually use our tight ends. You know, our tight ends are very good. They're very athletic. Surprisingly, they're very athletic. They're very big people that can run very fast. So it's kind of cool to see.
It seems like Satterfield loves the tight end spot the way he's talking about it.
Yeah, he does. He.
Different ways to use them.
So I think Coach Satt used to coach tight ends, so he liked the tight end spot a lot, and we use them a lot in our offense. And the tight ends are actually a big role in our offense, and I think they love it. So I think that's something that's cool.
So am I to assume, I gotta ask you this, that you and Xavier are the best bowlers on the team?
I heard Grant Buda's a good bowler, so I got to see him bowl. But as of right now, yeah,
What's your average or what's your best game?
my best game was probably 286. Yeah, 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 man. Moving into the dorms is gonna be a good experience for us. I feel like it's gonna be an experience that takes the team to another level as far as building a brotherhood and bonding. You know, it's going to be something that I think it'll be really fun for us. I don't know yet. I don't know.
Hey, how does that experience, like what you guys are going to do in camp? That's a little bit different. There's some programs that do that, but not many. How do you think that's reflective of everything that Coach really wants to do as far as creating the locker room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this will actually be my first year moving into dorms for camp. So, and I know Coach Rule, he preaches brotherhood and building family, and I think this is a great way to do it. You know, putting us in dorms, having us in there during camp, and just, you know, I think it'll be a good time. I'm very excited for it. Nah, not yet.
So you, if you're not getting recognized at campus, what about around town?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Oh,
A lot. Yeah, yeah.
How are you when people approach you as strangers?
Oh no, I be talking to him. I be talking to people like I've known them for years. Yeah,
So you like that? You're
yeah. I'm fine with it.
Jeff, you mentioned putting on good weight was a big goal.
Mm-hmm.
In the offseason, did Carol mention like what your plan was going to be in the fall? Because right now you're listed at 220 on the roster, but that's
I'm not.
an update.
Yeah. So I'm around 230 right now. and I'll probably during the season I'll probably stay around 225.
What would you say about Coach Corey Campbell's just like program? Going through it.
Yeah, his offseason program is elite. Just from a strength and conditioning standpoint, like running wise, workout wise, it's very tailor focused to what we need to be doing this year, and I think that's something that I really like about him.
What are some of the other stuff around the program, having come from another Power 5 school, just sports psychology, nutrition?
Yeah.
How detailed is that?
Yeah, so we actually have a dietitian, and that's she does a great job. She makes sure we're fed. She keeps our body weight, like she updates our body weight goals, and just makes sure that we're in the best spot that we can be in. And then she's a very helpful piece to us this offseason.
Huddle. You guys got to be in Huddle
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. How often were you in a Huddle in your previous?
Not much. I wasn't in the huddle much.
At Georgia Tech?
Yeah.
How about high school?
Nah, not really, not at all.
What do you like? Just like what are the pros and cons? I mean, how have you adapted to it?
I love huddling. I just get to talk to the guys, and it's a little breather. I be in the huddle, and that's a good time to calm the guys down, during the long drive, and just tell them like, come on, we good, and we're gonna get through it. Go score, motivate them,
You got your first taste of that in the spring?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. We'll be going against the defense during practice, and they'll be beating us, and I'll be like, all right, look, they can't do this. Like, I tell them, like, we the best offense in the country. Come on now. And everybody be like, yeah. And we'll go down there and score and stuff.
Satterfield, it's important to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he thinks it's sort of unique.
Yeah, most definitely.
You see it that way?
Yeah, I like it. I like the huddle a lot.
Did you have a favorite Huddle moment from the spring? Fun interaction?
Coach Rule came in the huddle one day, and we was scrimmaging the defense. Coach Rule came in the huddle one day. He was like, all right, look, this is what we're going to do. He told Marcus to run a route. He told the O-line, max protect, and he just told me to fake a handoff. All right, he said, I swear it's going to be a touchdown. And then another, and we did it. It was a touchdown. And another great moment, it was another scrimmage, and it was towards the end. We were scrimmaging defense. We was in the red zone. Defense had stopped us 3 times, and then they stopped us on 4th down, but they got a flag, so we got another chance. Coach Rule said, if y'all score this, run in the locker room, we're done. So we in the huddle, coach called a play, and I dropped back, and the O-line, they did a great job protecting it. I'm just running around the pocket, just trying to find some, because the defense, they did a good job. Like, they held it up. So Marcus was running across the back line, and I was about to roll out the pocket, but Turner, he took the end up the field, so I stopped and came back in the pocket and found Marcus in the back and just threw it, and Marcus went on top of the DB and got it, and we all just ran in the locker room.
What point in the spring was that?
I was like towards the end.
Toward the end?
Yeah.
I said one more.
Probably just have one time question.
Okay. Just one more on Colorado, if you don't mind. Have you ever really interacted much with Shador Sanders? Are you familiar with his game somewhat at all?
Nah, I haven't.
Nothing at all?
Nah.
I just thought maybe in Florida or any of the guys in that team at all that
I know one of the DBs that just transferred there. I played high school football with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Which one?
Jaquez Robinson.
Oh, okay, through Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's somebody you've known for a while?
Yeah, I've known him for a while. Played high school football with him. He played on my team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. You're all set.
Yeah.
5 minutes over.
So, Jeff, are you a firm believer in that great quarterbacks make others around them better?
Yep.
And do you think quarterback offense can only go as far as the quarterback can take?
Most definitely, and that's something that I've realized that I've taken seriously since I've been in Nebraska. Just making everybody around me better and holding them accountable.
All right. And how are you building trust with receivers and chemistry and protection from?
Just by hanging out with the guys, getting to know them, being there for them, and in any situation, they know that they can count on me, and knowing that I got their back.
And just one last one. What's your thought as this big red nation being, in around the most passionate fans in college football, and what's the magnitude of playing quarterback at a program that's, traditional powerhouse?
I love it. I love the fans, and I just can't wait to play in front of them.